Refer to your Xvivo manual for an in-depth explanation of how to check the calibration of the sensors in your Xvivo. In this video, we will demonstrate checking the calibration of oxygen sensors in your Xvivo system. The oxygen sensor's calibration will need to be checked often, at least monthly, because the sensor is electrochemical and the lifespan is only around 1 to 2 years. Therefore, as part of your preventative maintenance plan, it will be in your best interest to keep track of your sensor's health through regular calibration checks. Before starting, hook up a span mix tank of CO2 and O2 to the port on your Xvivo's back panel labeled span mix. Check the tag on your span tank to determine the concentration of CO2 and O2 in the span gas tank. This value will vary with each tank. Open the valve on your tank and adjust the regulator to 40 psi. Once you've logged into the software, go to the chamber you are checking the oxygen calibration in. Each module has their own sensors, and you will need to do a calibration check for them separately. Click the calibration button next to the oxygen sensor's reading. Click the Start Calibration button. The sample stream pump will automatically turn off. The software will notify you to do the zero calibration first, followed by span calibration. Click OK. Turn the zero calibration on. Check the flow meter for the module you are calibrating in, usually located behind the enclosure panel that's above that module. It should read around 200 cc per minute, so adjust it if needed. For the zero calibration, nitrogen is passed by the sensor and should bring the reading of the sensor close to 0%. Wait a few minutes for the reading to level out and ensure it is within plus or minus 0.1 of 0%. If the sensor is not within this range, simply click the Auto Calculation button, and the software will adjust the coefficient for you so that the sensor reads more accurately. The software will ask if you entered the zero standard percent value. This should always be 0.00 because we are using 100% nitrogen and 0% oxygen for zero calibration. Click Yes. Wait a few seconds and make sure the value is adjusted to a reading within plus or minus 0.1 of 0%. Zero calibration can be turned off once finished. Allow a few minutes for the sensor to recover from the exposure to pure nitrogen. Next, turn on the span calibration. Check the standard and make sure it matches the concentration of the span tank you are using. If it does not, click the standard and it will ask you to confirm. Click Yes. Input the correct value for the span tank. As you may recall from the beginning of this video, the tag on the tank said it contained 10.79% carbon dioxide, and the rest is oxygen. Therefore, the oxygen in this tank is 89.21%. Type this in and confirm with the green check mark. This will update your standard for the span gas. Change the scale to a higher value to watch the oxygen reading increase as the span gas runs across the sensor. Check the flow meter again to make sure it is still around 200 cc per minute. It will take a few minutes for the reading to level out. Once it levels out, click the Auto Calculation button if the value is not within plus or minus 0.1 of the span standard, in this case 89.21%. The software will ask you if you entered the span standard percent value. This is what we changed earlier, so you can click Yes. Wait a few seconds and make sure the value is adjusted to a reading within plus or minus 0.1 of the standard percent. If the reading starts to drift after being adjusted, your oxygen sensor's health may be starting to decline. Turn span calibration off. Click Finish Calibration. Confirm the coefficients were saved successfully by clicking OK. Go back to the main screen of this module and turn the sample stream pump back on. Wait a minute or so for the sensors to start sampling and reading the atmosphere in this module again before turning controls back on. Write down the coefficients for the zero and span each time you check the calibration to document how much they are changing over time. Big changes in the coefficient are a sign that your oxygen sensor's health is beginning to decline. Make sure to close the span tank once finished calibrating. Please contact our service department for any other questions about checking the calibration of your Xvivo sensors, or if you believe you need a replacement sensor.